have high blood pressure, help is on the way. We have a number of different products and food sources that can help to lower your blood pressure naturally without having to take huge amounts of prescriptive drugs and meds. Believe it or not, fermented milk, such as kefir, is a wonderful, wonderful option for people with high blood pressure. A cup of kefir on fermented milk a day would be ideal for anyone who deals with high blood pressure and has for years. Also, cod liver oil. Cod liver oil is spectacular. Cod liver oil helps to create flex and arterial expansion within the body because your blood pressure is so high, it causes the hardening and plaquing of the arteries. So cod liver oil taken in regulated doses every day is essential. Also, fish oil capsules. But, and I may caution those of you who are morbidly obese to be careful with fish oil capsules because it can actually exacerbate the problem and create a diabetic trend in the system. But fish oil capsules are wonderful, especially if they're a pure encapsulated source. You must be very, very particular about the capsules. They should not stink. They should not smell fishy. From food sources, we have a number of different things. Mustard greens and collard greens are spectacular. Look at how beautiful these are. Big, leafy green vegetable sources that are packed with zinc and manganese and potassium and calcium and magnesium. All of those minerals, along with the food sources that they're found in, are vital to reduce blood pressure problems in the anatomy of the body. Taking in foods that are high in essential fatty acids are also essential. Foods such as hummus and avocados and raw seeds and nuts and raw nut butters, not roasted, are absolutely imperative for lowering blood pressure and regulating diabetic predisposition for people who do have blood pressure problems. Garlic is also one of my favorite foods on the planet. Eat enough garlic, you'll drop your blood pressure down over the course of the next 2 to 3 months. No problems whatsoever. Careful that you don't lose a few friends along the way.
Hi, I'm Chef Peter T. Adams. I'm Executive Chef with Healing Quest Center. Today's topic on cooking solution to nutritional challenges is hypertension, or better known as high blood pressure. Obviously, this is a huge problem in the United States, and what we're going to be talking today about is a little bit about what we should avoid in terms of foods, dietarily speaking, nutritionally speaking, but more importantly, what are the things that we can use and eat that will help us through. In hypertension, or when we have hypertension, the most obvious thing that everybody knows is obviously we want to avoid foods that are high in sodium. That's the easy one. But we also want to avoid foods that tend to have high saturated fats. And generally speaking, we want to avoid processed foods. That leaves, however, a huge amount of foods that are out there that are available to us. For example, chicken is perfect for us. However, we want to make sure that we remove the skin from the chicken. So if we're really partial to the flavor that chicken skin brings, we want to make sure that we cook with the chicken skin on and we remove it. But I would go you one better. I think the best thing that we can do is use extra virgin olive oils and cold pressed oils of that nature, but things that have a lot of flavor. In addition, one of the things that's probably overlooked but we've known about for a long time is garlic. And needless to say, those that thought that garlic and the vampires had a lot in common, they knew something that we probably didn't know. And that is, there is a strong correlation between garlic and hypertension or blood in general. One of the things that we're going to do today is we're going to talk about garlic-based dishes. And a couple of the dishes that I'm going to prepare for you today are chimichurri, which is something that's begun to be noticed in the United States. And it's basically an Argentine condiment. It's essentially a dish that has a lot of parsley in it, which is in and of itself is very good for you. A little bit of extra virgin olive oil, which is also very good for you, and a ton of garlic. And also we're going to prepare a couple of other things. The bottom line on garlic is this. Most people are worried about garlic because of the odor that it gives your mouth. You need to know that garlic will give you more odor and will emit more flavor the more that it's processed. So, in other words, if you use a whole piece of garlic in a meal and it cooks, it will give off a wholly more mild, more subtle flavor than if you use crushed or minced garlic. And that has to do with the sulfur compounds, things that we don't necessarily want to go into today. So if you're worried about that kind of thing, just use sliced garlic. And I'm going to slice up some garlic today. Very, very simple. And essentially all we want to do is slice it real thin. And because our time is a little bit limited, I've gone ahead and I've actually, in this case, made ahead some of our base for our chimichurri, which is processed in a food processor. And I'm going to add this base to this mixing bowl. Normally, you're going to add tons of parsley. And one thing that I suggest is hold it very, very tight. The beauty of it is you can add flavors that you enjoy. So if there's something that you enjoy more than something else, you can use that. Red pepper flakes work very, very well. If most recipes will call for red wine vinegar, but I use champagne vinegar. I think it has a nicer, more subtle flavor with it. And of course, use an extra virgin cold pressed olive oil. I've already put the garlic in there. I'm going to mix it up. And I'm going to add a little bit more of the vinegar. The beauty of the acid is that, believe it or not, it will keep it a little bit fresher, a little bit longer in your refrigerator. In Argentina, this is on tabletops for days on end. And it's a staple. You would never be caught dead without it. And if I want, just for a little bit of flavor, remember we eat with our eyes as much as we eat with our tongue, I'm going to add a little bit of red pepper. Just take a little bit of a dish so that you can see it. Normally, this would be served on red meat. But the beauty of it is that you can serve this dish with anything. Remember that piece of chicken that I said remove the skin from? Put this on that piece of chicken or a lean piece of fish and it will add a ton of flavor in a very small amount of time. And really there's no limit to it. So again, we want to replace flavor where we didn't have any before and we want to eat healthy. Remember, be healthy, eat healthy. Thanks from Healing Quest Center.
Many of my clients ask me why colon hydrotherapy. Well, just in the short amount of time that I've been a colon hydrotherapist, colon cancer has gone from the number 4 killer to the number 2 killer of all cancers in the United States. Your colon is 5 to 6 feet long and 2.5 inches in diameter, and ideally you should be moving half of that every day. And most people are lucky to move that in a week's time, let alone in a day. So clearly there's some issues that need to be addressed as far as colon function is concerned. The colon is not only the most abused, but also the most neglected of all the organs in our body. Laxatives are the number 2 over-the-counter medication, second to that of painkillers, as far as how much money is being spent by the American population as a whole. It's a very scary statistic. So colonics are a really great, safe, and cost-effective alternative to laxatives and even surgery, what most people end up having to do from the abuse and neglect of their colon. So what we do is we have our clients come in and get the procedure, but we also educate them on what they can do to maintain the environment that we create for them by getting rid of the dead food diet, eating live, whole, nutritious foods, drinking enough water and fiber, probiotics, enzymes, And after a while, you become so in tune with your body that you know what you need to do and how often you need to come in to maintain that great environment. My name is Christina Pfeiffer from Colon Care of Healing Quest Center. Thank you for joining.
If you're looking for a better way to resolve your nutrition challenges and concerns, call Healing Quest Center today. We have the answers you need.
Hi, my name is Joe Bushes, and we're here today to talk about hypertension or high blood pressure. Hypertension can be caused by many different factors. One of the problems could be something called heavy metal accumulation. And heavy metal accumulation can come from a variety of different sources. If you live with a smoker, or you drink a lot of fluorinated water, if you have a lot of mercury in your dental fillings, it can come from many different reasons. And that can, as long as you have heavy metal accumulation, that will tend to raise your blood pressure. Another source could be, as we know, stress. People have hypertension. They're all stressed out. And so when your adrenal glands are revving up and kicking up real fast, what happens is internally your body's under a lot of stress. Some of the things we can do for that, there's a product called ADHS, and it stands for adrenal hypersecretors. So this is an adrenal gland that's tired, that's exhausted, and so it's causing the body to kind of be revved up internally. So this has all the vitamins, the minerals, the herbs that are necessary to calm, to relax the adrenal glands. And it's been very powerful to give not only an increased sense of energy and of vitality, but of also bringing down blood pressure. So for that revved up adrenal problem, ADHS does a very good job. Another product that works very well is good old-fashioned garlic. Garlic will chelate or pull out those heavy metals that we've talked about earlier, and it's just a wonderful thing to be on a daily basis. Garlic is one of the oldest natural heavy metal chelators out there. It'll also prevent colds and flus and infections, so garlic is a wonderful thing as well. And finally, I like to use coenzyme Q. Coenzyme Q, especially what's in an emulsified form, coenzyme Q will actually provide energy to the very cells themselves. Sometimes we have high blood pressure because the cells are tired and they're having to rev themselves up to work harder. So if we can just kind of get things moving slowly and easily but functioning at a peak performance, blood pressure comes down natural. The energy for the heart actually is our fats, triglycerides, and we need appropriate levels of coenzyme Q for the heart to work properly. So if we want to feed the heart, and that is why we're afraid of hypertension, because of heart attacks, we want to feed the heart. And so coenzyme Q is a wonderful product for that. My favorite is coenzyme Q from Biotics Research Corporation. So again, my name is Joe Bushes. We're talking about hypertension. Have a great day.